Former President Jimmy Carter had his 86th birthday on Friday. He's still a very busy man. He recently published another book, this one called White House Diary. Mr. Carter joins us exclusively for his first interview since a short stay in the hospital last week. He is at a Habitat for Humanity construction site in Washington, D.C. And Mr. President, happy birthday and good morning.
Well, thank you.
First off, how are you feeling?
Well, I feel fine. I only had one day of intensive hospital care, and I've been out working ever since. So it was just a brief bout with a virus.
All right. Let's talk about your work with Habitat for Humanity. This problem of homelessness and not having enough housing is no less significant than it was when you started your work with this group 27 years ago. Does it sometimes feel like you're trying to push a boulder up a mountain?
Well, we've gotten the United Nations to join in, and this is declared World Habitat Day, and that's the reason we started this new project in Washington. And I'll be going from here to Annapolis, and then to St. Paul, and then to Minneapolis, and then down to Birmingham, Alabama this week. So Habitat's building a new house for people every 24 minutes now somewhere in the world.
Wow.
So we're making a lot of progress, but obviously we want everybody to know that there's still many people that are homeless and many people that have insufficient homes.
I wonder, with this housing crisis in the United States, there's so much stock on the market now. Has that created an opportunity for Habitat?
Yeah, in fact, this last year we've shifted our emphasis from building new homes to taking homes that are empty or abandoned, refurbishing them, and moving families into them. So this is a very cost-saving effect, and we have increased that about fivefold over what Habitat's done in the past. So we're rehabilitating communities now by putting empty homes back in use and filling them up with very eager families to have a good house.
Okay, I remember being at a Habitat site with you in Houston 10 years ago or so. It was 100 degrees outside, and you were still very active with a hammer and saw. Are you still handy?
Absolutely. In fact, the rest of this week I'll be building homes or even the repairing homes in 6 different cities. So we do this every year. This is our 27th year. Last year we were in the Mekong River Delta area in Asia. We go 1 year in the United States, that's this year, and then 1 year overseas.
I want to switch subjects here. There are lots to talk about with you this morning, including the Middle East peace process.
Yes.
It looks as if talks are going to break off now. The Palestinians have had an opportunity to meet after settlements rebuilding started again. And they say, we're not going to talk as long as these settlements are going to be constructed. Well, is there any way that you see to break forward to get through this stalemate?
Well, the key thing is for Israel to give up its ambition to occupy and control Palestine. And as long as they are still building Israeli homes in Palestine against the wishes of the Palestinian people, that makes it very difficult for the Palestinians or the Arab world to comply with the desires of the United States, and that is to have peace. But it's always better, when you look at the Middle East, to have some hope. And I don't think we could have any better interlocutor or mediator than Hillary Clinton, who's tough, competent, knowledgeable, intelligent, and I think very determined to be successful. So if anybody can do it, I think Hillary Clinton can do it.
Prime Minister Netanyahu had said to the Palestinians, even though this building has resumed, please stay with this process. Is there any compelling argument that could be made to the Palestinians to continue on?
Well, I think if there's an assurance that Israel will get out of Palestine and let the Palestinians have their own viable and contiguous nation, fine. But in addition to building the homes, Israel is insisting that they still remain occupying the Jordan River Valley and controlling Palestine from air and ocean and land, so that the Palestinians don't have any access to the outside world. So this is a major obstacle to overcome, and I hope that there'll be some flexibility on both sides to let the United States mediation prevail.
I want to talk politics for a couple of minutes here very quickly.
Okay.
Some people have said President Obama is several years in office now, is somewhat resembling your time in office. If he were to call you and say, all right, in the next 2 years, this is what I've got to face, this is what I need to do, what advice would you give?
Well, when I was in office at this time, I had a 66% favorable rating, and we had a very successful midterm election. but he is faced with an obstacle that I didn't have, and that is almost complete polarization and an absence of any cooperation from the Republican Party. I had very good bipartisan support. So I think that he needs to concentrate in the next 2 years, I'm sure he will anyway, on the economic system. He's gotten some very wonderful achievements so far. But what people are interested in now is more jobs, and I think he's going to do that. And maybe after the election is over, I don't think the Democrats are going to have a very good success in a couple of weeks. But after that's over, he'll still be president for 2 years, and I think he'll have a much more forceful presentation now that he's got, a clear picture of what the situation will be, and I believe he'll be successful.
Mr. President, we thank you so much for your time today. A lot of people around the world very much appreciative of your and Rosalind's work with Habitat for Humanity, and don't work too hard this week.
Well, we have a good time. It's a very exciting object for us, and we are gratified to have this opportunity.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President.